Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 5th grade concept of dividing decimals. This is standard 5.3G in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have a weight of sand in a large bag is 63.4 or 63 and 4/10 pounds. The sand in the bag is divided, so they're going to go ahead and give you our operation right here. Divided equally into 20 smaller bags. So we are going to have our strip diagram here. If we look at our total, we've got 63.4. And what we need to do is we need to break this up into 20 little chunks. So I'm not going to draw 20 little chunks, but just pretend that this is 20 right here. I'll just say 20. So really we're just going to divide that 20 into 63, but you know what we can do first? We can just go ahead and estimate. We'll leave this right here, 63.4. So we're going to do this for our actual. But let's just estimate, because it says 63.4 divided by 20. That 20 is a nice round number. I wonder what would happen if we went ahead and made 63.4 into a nice round number. It looks almost as if 20 was rounded to the tens place, so let's go ahead and do the same thing here. Let's take a look at that, 63.4. That 3 is not going to move it up, so really it's closer to 60 than it is to 70. And so we've got 60-ish divided by 20. And so we can skip count by 20s, 20, 40, 60. If we take a 0 off of each, which we can do, 6 divided by 2, either way you look at it, it's about 3. Now how does that help us? Well, it could be A, could be B, could be D, but you know what? We've at least eliminated C as an option. 31.7. So that's making me almost lean towards D, because sometimes they'll give you the wrong answer at the decimal point, being the only thing that is shifted from the correct answer. So maybe D. So let's check how we would divide this. So it is a 2-digit divisor, and there are no decimals in our divisor. If there were, we would have to move it to the left or the right to get rid of it and mirror that action in the dividend. But since the decimal is only in the dividend, what we do is we move this decimal up right here onto our quotient bar, and that's it. That's the last thing that we do. We just kind of get rid of that. We pretend like it's 634. And so 20 does not go into 6, but 20 does go into 63. We know about 3 times. So that is going to be 60. We're going to bring down this 4. So it looks like we've got 34. So 20 goes into 34. Looks like it just goes in there once. So that's going to be 20, because 2 20s would be 40, a little bit too big. So I've got a remainder of 14. We're not really doing remainders anymore. So let's go ahead and bring this decimal back in. We pretended it wasn't there, but it really is there. What do we do when we have a remainder of 14? Well, the one thing we can do is we can always add a 0 afterwards, because 63.4 is the same as 63.40, because 4/10 is the same as 40 hundredths. But this extra 0 actually helps me out here, because now I got to think, well, how many times does 20 go into 140? Remember, we take these zeros off. We can take 1 off of each. It's the same thing, because remember, it's multiplying by 10, 100, 1,000. 2 goes into 14 7 times. So 7 times 2 is 14, so 7 times 20 is going to be 140. That is going to give me my even answer of 3.17, or 3 17 hundredths. So D is my answer. Always remember, if you are dividing and you run out of numbers, you don't want a remainder, you can just add a 0 at the end of the decimal. If there is no decimal after the ones place, put a .0 and you're good to go.